Hi everyone, welcome to Amazing Women's World. In this video I have come up with basic pattern making of Anarkali. This was the most requested video. So I would be preparing a series of Anarkali models in my upcoming videos. I would be showing the knee length and ankle length of Anarkali pattern. I'll show you how to draft this on the chart using this miniature scale, also called as paper scale, which is used for drafting the miniatures of the draft patterns. In my initial stage, I use very often this scale for the draft patterns to create the new designer garments. On this scale, one side it is having inches and another side it will have centimeters, with three different scale markings on three sides: small, medium and large, with the ratios of 1:4, 1:5 and 1:6, three sides, three ratios. The less the ratio, the bigger in the size. That means if you go for 1:4 ratio, the scale will have large space, whereas 1:5 is short and 1:6 ratio is shorter in inches. This scale is used for only miniature paper draftings, which is very helpful for drafting the patterns. So let's get started. I would be using 1:6 inches ratio to draft the Anarkali pattern. Firstly, I would be showing the marking of body measurements. Leave a little space on the top and mark for the shoulder line. I would be marking my measurements to show you. Mark the neck width 3 inches and shoulder 4.5 inches. Mark the front neck and back neck. Shoulder slope 1 inch. Armhole 6.5 inches. It's same as we use the tape to mark on the fabric. And mark the armhole circle. My waistline falls on 8 inches from the chest line and waist length is 8.5 inches. And hip line falls on 7 inches from the waistline and my hip length is 10 inches. And now join all these points, extending a little. This is the complete body pattern draft. Using this pattern, I'll show you how to mark the Anarkali pattern. Now cut on these marked lines. Initially, we all do mistakes while marking or any new patterns. So for the beginners, when drafting the new patterns, I would suggest you to use this scale, not directly on the fabrics. If you are confident with the patterns, you can create the wonders. Now I'll cut a little deep in front armhole and also cut the neckline little deeper compared to the back panel. Now this is my front and back panels. I lay this pattern on 4 folds to mark and design a garment. Now I'll show you how to transform these body measurements to create the Anarkali pattern. Supposing this is the fabric you want to create the Anarkali pattern. Fold the fabric into 2. Now hold the top salvages and fold it diagonally like this. Normally any fabrics, the shape is almost in rectangle. Now on these 4 folds, you should lay this pattern like this and mark your measurements. On the top of the triangle, you should lay your pattern and mark your body measurements. Now from the waistline, I would extend till 20 inches means my knee length falls on 20 inches. So with that scale I'll mark 20 inches and extend with this dotted lines. Now cut this marked lines and also the waist, chest line, armhole and neckline. When you open this, you will get the knee length Anarkali pattern of both front and back panels. Now I'll show you how to mark the ankle length Anarkali pattern, or else you can mark for floor length also. As I've shown for the first pattern of Anarkali, lay the body measurements pattern on the top of the triangle and start marking your measurements, transforming the draft pattern. Also take your floor length or ankle length measurements. Here I'd be taking 41 inches from the waistline to floor length. Using the scale, start marking from the waistline 41 inches. So here one side you'll get the measurements of 41, you can mark it, but another side, due to insufficient length of the fabric, you could not draw on the another side. Mark with the dotted lines, connecting all the points from waistline to floor length. See on the another side, the fabric is not sufficient. So what I'll do is I'll fold the left here the paper, but if you are drafting on the fabric, you should fold the fabric like this. How much amount you needed, that much you have to fold here, and then extend the same dotted lines to the extended part of the fabric. Ensure that the folded side you also left with the seaming allowance of 1/4 inch for the joining. Now cut on the marked lines, and if you open, it will look like this. To the another side, you can see that it's not sufficient, so whatever left, that you have to cut like this and then stick it here. For the fabric, you have to stitch to complete the floor length Anarkali pattern. Here I'll stick with the tape. Now you can see both the draft patterns of knee length Anarkali and floor length Anarkali patterns. This is the very basic model. Lots of variations is lined up using this pattern, transforming draft on the fabric. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share and leave your comments. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.